Someone once told me, Miriam, it's actually very hard being married to a Nigerian. And when I asked why, she said, because you have to provide home cooked meal every day. Who does that? How do I survive that? How do I survive providing home cooked meal every day to my Nigerian family since they do not like to eat out and they only love to eat at home? So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how we Nigerians survive providing our families with home cooked meals every day. So if you want to learn one or two ways in which you can actually manage to conquer the stress of providing your family with home cooked meal. I'm going to speak from my own Nigerian point of view. So, but before I do that, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Miriam, your girl. I'm super excited to be here as always. If you're new here, you're welcome. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Help me grow so that I can give you more gist. And if you're my subscriber, I really do appreciate you. So let's move right into the gist of today. Okay, you're married to a Nigerian, and your biggest issue is providing your Nigerian husband or your Nigerian household with home cooked meals every day. And you are wondering, how do we Nigerians manage to provide our families with home cooked meals every day of the year? Then I'm going to unleash the truth to you. My dear, if you want to cook every day of your life, you're not going to make it. That's not how we operate. That's not how we Nigerians operate. We provide our families with home cooked meals every day, but we do not cook every day. That is the truth. So right now I'm going to break down how everything is being done. So how we go about this, and excuse me, before I go on to what I'm about to say, a friend once told me, you know, Miriam, it's not healthy to actually stock your food in the fridge for a few days and then go back to eating it. How do hotels store the food that they provide for you? How do supermarkets store the food that you buy from them? They do not import every day. They do not supply them every day. There are foods that have been in the freezer for months. I'm very sure of that. Whole chicken, turkey, all the food you find in the freezer. Sometimes they stay there for a long time. If it's frozen, it's frozen. It is safe. It depends on the amount or the period of time in which you leave these things there. So before you start to judge or before you start to say it's unhealthy, sorry, we did it. And look how it turned out. Flawless, right? Okay, so let's go ahead. So being a Nigerian woman is kind of stressful. And with the rate in which stress is actually putting people down these days, there is no way you can force yourself to overwork. Because if you overwork yourself, you break down. What we would usually do is you pick a good day. For example, your off day to prepare your meals. So we pick a good day to go shopping in the market. And when we go shopping, we buy lots of different things to make different types of dishes. Okay, you may not know about the Nigerian soup, but it's quite oily, not so oily, but it's a little bit oily. The Nigerian soup is a little bit oily. So, and you know, anything that has oil in it doesn't really get spoiled so easily. Plus, it's not the maybe sunflower oil, granite oil, olive oil. No, it is called palm oil, and this is what we make our soups. All our soups we make with palm oil. So what we do is when we go to the market, we buy different types of food stuff. We could make vegetable soups, we could make a goosey soup, and we could make maybe insala soup or draw soup, depending on what you and your family like. And when you make the soups, what you do is you split them into maybe different bowls, you know, different storage bowls. For example, into 7 different places. Yes, as it will serve your family. We split it into, that is really, believe me, lots of Nigerians have deep freezers in their houses. Lots and lots of them. Yes, because even if we don't have light, because sometimes we run out of electricity, bad electricity system, so your deep freezer stays frozen for days. And this is why most of us prefer to have deep freezers in our houses, because your food doesn't get spoiled. At least if the power goes off for the next day, it's back, and then it will continue from where it stopped. Depending on what you want, it could be 7, it could be 5, it depends on what you want. You just split it anyways into your storage bowls. You split them all. You split the okra soup, you split the egusi soup, girl. You split the okra soup, you split the egusi soup, you split the white soup, which is also called nsala soup, into different bowls, and then you store them all in your freezer. You could tag them, because when they are frozen, you actually do not know which is which. Yeah, because they all look the same, especially if you use the same kind of storage facility. Yes, or storage bowls. So you could tag them a different kind of soup, or you could keep them in a position that you will remember. For example, the okra soup, white soup, egusi soup. And when you're done with this, you can also go ahead to make your stew. So stew is what we eat with rice, white rice. That is called stew. It's made from tomato paste. You could make chicken stew, you could make fish stew, you could make goat meat stew, you could make all in one. Yes, meaning you could use chicken, goat meat, fish, all in one stew. You could make them all fried and use. Yes, you could make it one. So when you make a big pot of stew, you could also split them into different storage boxes, and also put them. Yeah, when you put them, do not just cook, split, and keep them. No, when you cook, you let it cool down, and then you put it in the storage plates, and then you stock them in your freezer. Tag them. This is your stew. Yes, all these are stews. These are soups. You understand? And then once that is done, you are actually set, my dear. You are set for the week. It could even go more than a week. But girl, you were set. Okay, so how this is done is, for example, you're going to work, you ask your hubby what he would like to eat that day. So if he says he would like to eat, for example, maybe semovita, or maybe wheat, that is swallow. That's what we call swallow. You actually eat with the soup. You would like to eat the egusi soup. You bring it out in the morning on your way out to work. When you bring it out, it gradually melts, so that when you come back, it's only but cold. Yes. And then what you have to do is only to make the food. And making your semovita or making your wheat, maximum 30 minutes, you're done. If 30 minutes is not even too much, all you have to do, boil your water and stir the food, make sure it's well cooked, and you bring it out, and you warm the soup. You warm the soup, just microwave it. If you don't have microwave, you warm the soup, and your food is ready. That we say that Nigerians love home-cooked meals, it doesn't mean that you have to cook every day of your life, girl. If you try, you will break down. This is how we go about it. Right from when I was young, my aunties were doing that. My mom did it. We all do it. Even those in the villages, sometimes they cook. And for those who are so traditional that they do not like to store food in the freezer, or those who do not have it at all, they cook a little bit, They increase the quantity of their food, at least to go for 2 days or 3 days before it's finished. And then before they cook again. Or else, girl, you just break down. And remember, these soups we're talking about, we do not go about swallowing morning, afternoon, night. No, that's not how it's done. You have those things in the fridge. What you do is, you wake up in the morning. Maybe that morning you're gonna have bread and tea. Prepare your egg sauce in the morning. You serve it with your bread and tea, and you're off. If you have children, you give that to them. You make that bread and tea in the morning. You eat, your husband, and you are off to work. By the time you get back home, your soup is already waiting for you. Yes, your soup is waiting for you. If you think you're gonna stay out for so long, then you just put it in the fridge. Then it will gradually defrost. That's it. Then when you come back, you make the semovita or you make the wheat and you warm the soup and you eat, and that is done. Girls, so I just really wanted to tell you that when I say you have to provide your man with home cooked meals, I'm not saying that you have to cook every day of your life. I'm only saying you have to provide him. In any way you provide him the meal at home, he will eat. They are understanding. Yes, even our men know, they already know that we do not cook every day, but they know there must be food at home. Sometimes, even if you're not around, your hubby could go into the fridge and serve himself because he knows you already have it. If you have stew in the freezer, if he comes from work and you're not there, he's just gonna boil rice. It's very easy to boil white rice. So guys, I just want to let you know that you do not need to turn yourself into a cook, or you do not need to break yourself down just because you're trying to please your Nigerian man or your Nigerian husband by cooking every day. Just in case you don't know about this system, this is actually a stress reliever for you. Because if you do this, sometimes I cook only once. In fact, not sometimes, most times I cook my soup or my stew in the weekend on my off day, and I stock them in my freezer. You only find me boiling rice or stirring my maybe wheat or semovita or what, or making egg sauce or making anything light. Maybe he decides he wants jollof rice, for example, and there is time. Jollof rice is something that won't take even an hour to prepare. You understand? Yes, those things. You could actually make easy things. For example, Saturday morning or on a day that you're staying at home, you could actually make maybe fried plantain and egg sauce with oatmeal. Yes. So you have to complement them all. You serve the heavy meals like in the afternoon, and you eat something light in the morning. Yes, that's just how we do it. And in the evenings, also something light. It could be beans, and plantain. That's how we do it. And sometimes you could also make moi moi. If you don't know what moi moi is, it's a kind of pudding made out of beans. You could make some large quantity of moi moi and stock them in the freezer. Believe me, if you make your moi moi and you stock it in the freezer, the moment you want to warm the moi moi, bring it straight out of the freezer. Do not let them melt. Do not let them defrost. Just put them straight into your pot. Add some water and warm them. By the time they are warm, if you want to know if they're warm, just put something like a knife, yes, table knife, straight into it. And when you bring it out, you see it's soft. It comes out as fresh as new, like you have just made the moi moi. I am telling you, I made some moi moi like 2 days ago, and right now it is packed in my freezer. Believe me, if you want, I could show you for real. I packed them in my freezer. Okay, I just decided to show you. Okay, look at that. Can you see that? So I made this moi moi. I have about 20 of them, and I just brought it out from the freezer. Oh my god. Oh, it's so cold. So you see this moi moi? If you want to warm them, you just put them straight into the pot. When you put them straight in the pot, add some water and start to warm them. Boy, mommy, wait. Don't touch. Whew, it's so cold. When you warm them for about 15 to 20 minutes. Yes, like once you wake in the morning and you're gonna have that for breakfast. Moi moi is actually used for breakfast. It's so nice. You could take it with custard, with pap, with oats. Beautiful. And your Nigerian man, believe me, will love it. It's really nice. It's very proteinous. It is made from beans. So that is also something that you could add to your, your freezer. It stays as fresh as new. My dear, in this life, I can't come and kill myself. I cannot kill myself. The fact that you're married to a Nigerian man, no one is saying you should render yourself a cook, dear. You need to have time for yourself. How else would you have time for yourself to look fresh and good, Our mothers didn't do that. They didn't kill themselves just because they had to cook. or provide our fathers with food. They did it this exact same way that I am doing now, and I learned from them. So I'm just teaching you. I know you may not know this, but we Nigerians do not mind at all that you cook and store them, but let them be delicious, let them be fresh. Store them in the freezer. Bring it out when you're going out. Yes, bring it out on that day, in the morning of that day, so that by the time you come back in the evening, it's ready to be warmed and eaten. So guys, this is it from me to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a little tip from me to you, like we do it in the Nigerian way, so that you know from one sister to another, giving you an expo to how we live our lives. So that you don't break down, girl. Don't break down, please. Trying to please that guy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Yes, give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe to my channel for more gist from me. Okay, so guys, if there's anything you also like to know about cooking or how we manage, if there is anything that I have left out in this video that you would like to know about, go ahead and ask me and I will be here. So without further ado, to have a happy day, to have a lovely day, stay happy and stay blessed. Bye.